Hi, let me introduce you to the crew. This is Win, and he is the warrior of the crew. And coming up on my right, we have Anne, the artisan of the crew. But what is an artisan without a farmer? And for that job, we have Frankie. As for me, I'm Ben the Banger. And all together, this is the Runescape Job. Now that we got the introductions out of the way, let's jump into the meat of this series. The series is quite complex, but hopefully throughout the playthrough, it will get more and more clear how it's gonna work. I'll leave a link in the description for a Word document with basically everything there's to know about the series, the goals, the restrictions and all that, so you can catch up at any time. But let's make some ground rules real quick. First off, the 4 accounts will be played as a group Ironman, meaning they cannot trade with other people or the Grand Exchange. The one exception will be Ben, which is allowed to buy stuff from the Grand Exchange to use for money making as long as that does not grant any experience. He can also trade with the other accounts and sell whatever they make so that they can get more money, and he'll be responsible of getting bonds. He is however not allowed to buy any supplies and trade those off to any of the accounts in the series. I want the crew to be self-reliant, and therefore shops are not allowed. The only exception will be if they are just needed for a quest. For the third and final rule, we have that the crew members are only allowed to get experience in their professions, which means characters like Anne can only get crafting and firemaking experience by getting the resources of Frankie and Vin. Now, for the goal of this series, there's actually not a major one. What I want to achieve is to have bonds active on all 4 characters at one time and be able to sustain that. And other than that, I have individual goals for the characters, like getting everything to 99 in their professions. And there are a few other goals which you can find in the document, which is in the description if you want to see more of the individual goals. And that should cover everything, so let's go ahead and get into this grind. So starting off on Ben, I'll probably be selling off everything in my inventory, start collecting some ash, which I can do from over here. And sell those off and just start making a little bit of money inactively. And then I might move on to cutting chocolate dust and stuff like that. See what works, see what doesn't work, and just slowly move up on this cast stack. As for Vin, we are actually gonna have a little bit of a struggle because he can cook his own food, so we'll need Anne for that. For now, I'm just gonna be training up my stats over at the chickens, and then hopefully Anne can cook the meat there. As for gear upgrades, we're not allowed to go to the shops, so I'm thinking we will start doing some mining and smithing on Frankie and Anne, so we can make some weaponry for Vin here. There we have it, the first level on 3 accounts is strength 2. So for getting food on this account, we actually have to have Anne here to craft it, or to cook it, and I brought a log from Lombard's castle because she's actually not allowed to cut the wood herself. So yeah, we have to do it like that, and Vin can't cut wood either. If you guys are wondering how the operation looks, it's basically like this. So we have, in the bottom right corner we have Vin, in the top right corner we have Anne, left corner we have Frankie. I just got to the mining deposit now. First off, I went to the Alcarid one, but scorpions are a pain there, so yeah, we had to go here, which is fine. We can smith bronze and lumbrits, so once Anne has cooked a full inventory of food for Vin, she'll go ahead and actually start doing trips back and forth between Frankie and the furnace. So I think that's the way we're going to do it, and every time I have some off time, I basically just go around picking ashes on Ben. We kind of ran into an issue with this. I have to lift the trading restrictions here before we can actually start doing anything. So, not sure what that means for Anne. She needs 66 total levels without trading anyone. I might try and just drop the meat and then pick it up on her and then cook it that way. I guess that will work. We just got level 5 mining on Frankie, which means we can actually go ahead and do the adventure thingamajig. Task done, 1 out of 3. But I'm not going to do that. As I said earlier, this is going to be a group Ironman series, and you're not allowed to do the adventure paths as an Ironman, so That's also not going to be a thing in this series, so I'm going to be ignoring that. So I just found out that you cannot drop stuff for another account. That does not work. I guess that makes sense since it's trading, but as you can see, we do have a chicken in my inventory. And it turns out if I kill something and win, and then don't pick up the meat and just let it leave on the ground, the food will actually turn up. You can see there's a raw chicken over there. I realized this because I saw this like raw beef and cow out over here, so I'll just be leaving the meat on the ground, and then I'll pick it up and cook it for him. There we go, that's one right there. No kidding. And it's not the best cook so far. Oh, I just realized I can't even trade over the cooked meat. Oh, so yeah. This is mostly just gonna be to train up her cooking for the requirement. I guess I need 100 total, so that's cooking level 3, and hopefully she learns to cook a little bit better, because it's just sad. So I'm gonna try and work on lifting the trade restriction on Anne first. We're gonna be doing some quests, and we're just gonna help, for example, the cook system. We're gonna, as you can see, we're gonna work on sheep shearer. And just trying to get up her total levels. I think our main way of getting total levels on Anne will be to, well, do quests, as long as they only level up her proficiency. And then on top of Lumberjack Castle up here, we have some logs we can burn, so that's gonna be some free easy levels. And then from there, I'll have to figure out another way. Maybe I'll go to the cow pen with Win, so that I can pick up cow hides and train up our crafting a little bit. I guess we could train up cooking too. There should be some places with food spawns that we can cook. And it's just going to be doing some quests. The funny thing is, like, these quests is actually quests I can't do on any other account, because they give experience in stats that's only allowed to be trained by Anne. So that's pretty cool. From here on, I think we can do the Mr. Ling quest. I'm going to have to look into rewards of that, but I believe it's only crafting experience. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that one. There's currently so much going on, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and sell off the ashes, and then switch over to cutting chocolate bars, because I think that's gonna be a little bit less active. Just gonna real quick sell off the ashes. We have 10k. We're gonna buy some chocolate bars, and we're gonna go ahead and make that into chocolate dust. Don't know how many we can get, but yeah, I'm just gonna buy as many as I can get. It's actually not that bad. We can get about 360. There should be a few inventories. And with that hit, that should be 10 strength. And there's another one we completed. As I said, we're not going to do any of the journey map. But yeah, I'm going to start working on our attack. Probably get that up to level 10 too. And then just go max strength. For now, I think chicken's okay. I'm not really burying the bones, because I just want to train up the stats real quick. And there's sometimes other people killing chickens, and I can't keep track of what's my loot and what's their loot. So yeah, just killing chicken, getting our stats up, and then we'll probably move on to cows, because it's going to be a little bit more AFK-ish. I'm just afraid they're going to kill me, so I need a little bit more defense level before I go over there. And there we have it, Mr. Lin mystery done. It's going to be a few crafting levels, and we are now up to 3 quests, but still quite a bit to go. And there we go, that should be X marks the spot. It's going to give us a clue school beginner. I guess we'll try and do that. And also an antique lamp. Yeah, I think I'll do smithing, because I can't do that until I can start trading. So yeah, level 4. It's going to work a little bit on our max levels here. I think we're going to switch over to doing pie shells. The margin is very good here. As you can see, like for a pie dish and the dough, it's about 174, and I can sell it for 284. So there's like 110 gold piece margin here. So yeah, that's way better than the 5 you got from the chocolate dust. There's a little bit less AFK, but so much more money. And I think next hit on this chicken, and we should be level 10 attack. So I do want to start training up my defense soon, but I think we are, since I'm stuck using this not so good weapon, I think I'm just gonna be training up my strength a little bit more, so I can start hitting some 3s more consistently, and maybe 4s and 5s, and then we'll move on. So the pie dish method is insanely good, but sadly there's a buy limit of 500 on the pie dish, so yeah, we can't do it too much at a time, but put in an offer for like 1,000, so once those buys up, I'll start doing that again, because the money making there is insanely good. According to the wiki page, it's like 250k an hour for a free-to-play method that's semi-AFK. That's wonderful. But yeah, the buy limit's kind of an issue, and I'm not allowed to go to like shops. So yeah, it's kind of a limit there. I could maybe world hop for pie dishes, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna be doing some chocolate until we get some more pie dishes. Moving on to Frankie. We haven't seen him for a little bit. He's just been cutting trees close to the Lumbridge here. I have been banging the logs. Not sure how much I'm going to be using them for, but I could always just sell them, trade them over to Ben so you can sell them. We are using the wrong axe, so it's taking a little bit, but that's 15. I can now move on to Oak, which I'm very much looking forward to because that's going to be a lot more AFK. And since I'm playing on 4 accounts at a time, the more AFK the better. As you can see, the chocolate is super AFK to start that, but Vin, the higher combat he gets, the less AFK killing chickens are. And for Anne, questing is pretty intensive too, or at least not when you have to walk around, but dialogue wise and stuff. We are currently on Anne, working on Romeo and Juliet. I'm also working on Rune Mysteries. We are at the part where we need to go back to the wizard, so that's almost done. And for Romeo and Juliet, I have the potion or whatever, and yeah, so that's about to be done too. So the next clip is probably gonna be me finishing out the Romeo and Juliet quest. And that's Romeo and Juliet done. And there we have it, Rune Mysteries done, and that's 10 quest point on Anne. So now we just need to get 100 total level. I'll probably go on top of Lumbridge Castle and just do a lot of fire making. Alright, 15 strength on Win. Gonna switch over to defense. Need a few defense a little bit before we can kill cows comfortably. I'm not entirely sure how many, but yeah, it's probably at least 10, maybe 15. Now we have 10 defense. I think I'm gonna move on to cows. I'll probably bank the hide for Anne until we can trade her. So I just missed it, as you can see down here, but that's mining level 15. So that means we can now get iron and do Doric's crest. So I'm gonna go ahead and start questing on Frankie so we can lift the trading restriction on him. So to actually get the spade for X marks the spot, you have to go all the way to Remington to pick up this spade. And yeah, while I'm here, I'm gonna be picking up some clay and iron for Doric's quest. And we are at Doric's place right now. I should have everything he needs right now, so that should be Doric's quest done. A little bit of mining experience, some gold, it's very nice, and mining level 18. I'm gonna move around over to Varrock now to continue doing Rune Mysteries and also to do Romeo and Juliet. And Restless Ghost done. The first quest done on Win the Warrior. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and try and release all of the quest, all the trade restrictions on all of the accounts, because I want to be able to trade with them. We did get the Ghost Peak Amulet. Doesn't seem like that gives any stats, but yeah, so gonna be questing on Vin too. I did go ahead and get the spade while I was over there anyway. I started doing Rune Mysteries, and I'll do X marks the spot. And X marks the spot and Win the Warrior. As for the XP lamp, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it on. I was thinking ranged or magic. I think I'll just do ranged because it's kind of horrible to level early on, so yeah, gonna throw it on ranged. Also, I don't really have a good way of training ranged since I can't buy arrows from the shops. So until we get members, I don't think I'll be training ranged on this account. And there we go. Romeo and Juliet done on Win. That's 7 quest points there. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do Rune Mysteries, and then I'll probably do some of the combat quests like what's it called, Imp Catcher and stuff like that. And there's Romeo and Juliet done on Frankie. We are about to complete Rune Mysteries. So many quests, I'm just doing the same ones over and over again. It's getting a little bit tiresome, but gotta get those done. 3 quest points remaining. Thought I would make some jugs of water, but apparently I cannot do that because of the whole trade restriction limit. I tried to do the whole chocolate dust, but the margin is like 5 GP per chocolate dust, and it takes me quite a bit to get through them. So I'm gonna have to look up some other money making methods I can do on Ben, because the pie dish was really good, but the buy limit is really screwing me over right now. And Rune Mysteries done on Vin. So I think for both Win and for Frankie, just to get the last quest points we need, we are just gonna go ahead and do Ernest the Chicken. And there we have Ernest the Chicken done on Win the Warrior. And over on Frankie, we have Ernest the Chicken done too. That is, what, 12 quest points and 11 quest points. Now we just need to work on those totals. As for Ben, I am just making pastry dough. And yeah, whenever I run out of water, I found out that I can just do the jugs of water method and use the water jugs. Instead of selling those straight out, I use those to make the pastry dough. And yeah, it's basically a moneymaker and a moneymaker, I guess. And then with the pie dish, it's going to be a moneymaker and a moneymaker and a moneymaker. And yeah, our banks is growing slowly. As you can see, it's now worth 37k. And I do have a bank offer in here for like 40k on pie dish. So I just left that in there. So in general, we are actually almost 100k now. I completely forgot about this, but yeah, that is X marks the spot on Frankie, and that experience lamp is going to be thrown straight into fishing. Because fishing early game is so bad. And oh, we can actually do this step. It could be cool to do some beginner clues. Maybe we can get lucky and get something very expensive. And there we are, 13 prayer. Which isn't that big of a deal, but that also means 100 total level. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can trade Anne and give her some cowhides. We tried to trade over to Anne, but I am still restricted based off of playtime. So yeah, I guess that's not gonna happen. We're just gonna keep training some fire making on Anne and see how far she can get there, I guess. I think if we go ahead and collect this, our first cast tag over 100k, so super good. The pie shells is insane. Sadly, the buy limit is really bad, but that's probably gonna be our main money maker. And while we do that, I'll probably just be filling jugs and yeah, making the pastry. It's gonna be last hit, and that's gonna be 20 defense on our warrior account. Moving up there, gonna switch over to attack now. Get all those sweet 20 stats going. It's been a while since I ever done any runes in mining, but yeah, here we are with our bronze pickaxe. I thought it would be a good idea since we need some runes for Vin, and we're not allowed to go to the shop and buy them. So yeah, rune essence, here we come. We got our first ever casket. It's just a beginner casket. Let's see what we got. Hey, that's an upgrade. We actually got a little bit of food too, so that's not too bad. I might look into see if there's some monsters we can kill. I think the zombies down in the sewers here can actually drop as a steel axe. Like, I think that's the worst thing about doing no shops is I cannot upgrade my tools, so I'm stuck with a bronze axe and a bronze pickaxe. And whoops, 20 strength achieved. That's base 20 combat. Even got 21 HP. Ooh, about to hit 22. Probably gonna be switching over to strength again. I am not seeing any luck with the axe here, and honestly, I kind of regret going for the axe. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of Google search, see if I can find something that can drop me a better weapon than a bronze sword.
I need a weapon.
So my search for a better weapon led me out to the wilderness, more precisely the boneyard. Because I saw that you can actually go ahead and get an iron scimitar from here. So that's pretty cool. We got a little bit of a weapon upgrade. So just went ahead and got our best in slot cape for win. The black cape. Looking good. So guys, we got our second casket ever. I am farming a little bit of beginner caskets here on win. Because there's actually so many drops from them that would be super nice. Like from the rare drop table, for example, the Amulet of Defense would be really nice. But the black is actually where it really shines. I would love to get a black axe, or pickaxe, or scimitar, or some of the armor too would be really nice. But even if we don't hit any of the black gear, we can get some staffs, which would be really nice for win. Because we actually, I don't think there's a way for us to get like Staff of Air or Fire and beginner clues. But we can also get a steel axe or an iron pickaxe, so those are both very big upgrades. And we can get some steel equipment and some mage armor. So yeah, overall, and of course runes too. So overall, it's actually just so good on this account. So I will be opening them. I was thinking about like stacking them up, but honestly, if I do get any sort of gathering tools, that would really help out Frankie. So let's go ahead and just open up a few clues. Well, that's a few runes. Not the best, but that is to be expected a little bit. I did go ahead and buy a few teleports in the Chronicle, and I'm just farming goblins for the scrolls. I've been running some rune essence, and holy, it's very AFK, so that's super nice when you're playing on 4 accounts, but it is so slow experience, and it just feels painful. But yeah, we got 1,000 of them. I think I'm gonna switch it up. I'm probably gonna go ahead and try and grab some iron ore, because we will need that to craft some armor and stuff, and hopefully steel armor for Win. So yeah, I'm gonna start mining some iron ore. I'll try and see if I can do it over at this mine, but if there's any people there, I probably can't grab any with my silly bronze pickaxe. So we'll try. Hopefully no one is chopping iron. As you can see on the servers, there's really not that many people in on free to play. It's like 50 or less. I decided to buy a lot of jugs and just fill them with water. I can't really sell them off, but like if you buy these off the GE, they actually sell way higher than the price is stated as. So if I were to sell them, I would get like 34 GE price, but when I have to buy them, you have to buy them for actually 44 GP. So the margin is really good right now. So I'm filling the jugs of water myself and then make them into pastry. It is very cost efficient instead of just buying the pastry straight out. And since we have the buy limit on the pie dishes anyway, I think this is a good way to spend the time. So with this last one, actually mining iron with a bronze pickaxe isn't as bad as I thought it would be. But yeah, that's 30 mining. I'm just gonna continuously mine a lot of iron, I reckon, because that's gonna be some of the best smithing experience, and it's definitely some of the best mining experience. So yeah, we gotta grab a lot of iron over on Frankie, and hopefully he can get a better pickaxe soon. Vin is working on it. Believe in Vin. Honestly, talking about Win and clue scroll hunting, you get a lot of Charlie the Tramp steps, and I can't do any of them, so I'm having to drop like, I think 70% of all the clues I'm getting. This is very sad, but at least I'm getting experience while doing it, so that's good. And yeah, just the possibility of completing some clue scrolls, and the fact that there's so much we need from them really keeps me going on it. There we go, 30 strength on Vin. We're actually able to hit 5s now, so that speeds up the kills a little bit, which is both good and bad. Means it's gonna be a lot less AFK-ish, but hey. 29 combat level now, stats are looking pretty nice. Probably just gonna continue an attack for quite a bit. Just been killing these goblins. They don't really pose a threat to our HP or anything, so that's pretty nice. And I'm not burning the bones because that would make this way too active. Casket number 3, and well, I guess once we start training range, this the 4th clue. Hey, gear upgrade. Sadly, we already have the steel legs, so it's not much of an upgrade, but hey, it's something. Very fashionable indeed.
So pretty!
So from now on, there might be a few clips where I'm going to have to do some voiceover, but yeah, it is what it is. In this clip, we are gonna go ahead and hit 35 strength. And that's 50 fire making on Anne. Sadly, we cannot do Winter Tot because we cannot chop wood, but it's a pretty cool milestone nonetheless. When I had to share the sheet to make a ball of wool, because I need that for level 8 crafting. More importantly, we are now to level 100 on Anne. So I might have come a little bit over prepared for this quest. But that is Vampire Slayer done. A nice little quest to get done. That is 27 attack. Just some nice free attack experience. We just missed it, but with 41 mining over on Frankie, we now have a total of 100 on him. And also we can now use the rune pickaxe. This would be sweet if you could get it. So hit point levels are pretty hard to catch, especially when you play on 4 accounts, but we just achieved 30 hit points. And there we go, we got the final bead for Imp Catcher, the red bead. The grind wasn't actually that bad. As you can see, I only had to kill like 86 imps. I think that's a pretty good drop rate. I'm definitely happy with it. And also we got a few mine talismans. Imp Catcher is now done, and with that we actually unlock our best in slot amulet, at least for a little bit until we can start crafting a strength ammy. And the Amulet of Accuracy is actually kind of okay. It gives us a little bit of bonuses in the different attack styles. Definitely very happy with that. Kind of regretting not doing that earlier. So I've been hunting for clues for quite a bit now. Actually just hit our 1000 goblin kill. Casket number 5. Pretty blah. I decided to head over to the Minotaurs because they actually have quite some good loot on their table. We can actually get some pure essences, rune essence, so that we can get some runes so that we can start crafting. And also copper and arrows, and yeah, there's quite a few good things we can get from here. So I think we are about a place where we can tank them. If we can't, we can get some cooked meat up from the barbarian place and just stay down here. I'm gonna be training up my defense. We did hit 25 defense, so gonna continue practicing up our defense until I can actually tank these guys. As you can see, I switched over to goblins. I'm just gonna be here for a little bit. That's 30 defense. I think we're gonna switch back to strength. I'm not entirely sure. I'm having a little bit of issues tanking these guys still. But yeah, I switched it over to goblins because these goblins actually have a chance of dropping a red cape, which doesn't sound too significant, but it's actually used in a beginner clue step. And there's not that many different beginner clue steps, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that because I will still be doing a lot of beginner clues. Oh wow, so we already got it. That was not actually too bad. Only killed 89 because we had 1,000 from before, and the drop rate is 1 in 28, so pretty happy about that. That means we can drop the black cape. It's the same stats, but yeah, this one is used for a clue scroll step, so I'll say that's a little bit of an upgrade. So I have no idea what to do on Ant, so just been doing a bit more fire making, and that's 52 fire making. I reckon I'll have to get 99 at some point anyway, so might as well use the time where she's completely useless to just train fire making. And I think with this diggity dig, we got a casket. It's gonna be casket number 6. I'm hoping for black scimitar or some sort of staff would be sick. So let's see what we're gonna get. Oh, actually, steel blade body is not bad. Look at that defense bonus. Oh, that's gonna help out a ton against the Minotaurs. That's really, really good, actually. Pretty happy with that. I did not actually think about that. That's a really, really, really good casket. Casket number 7. 2 steel blade bodies. Not that useful, but should be able to sell them over on Ben for a little petty penny once we can trade him. We're mining a little bit of coal over at the barbarian village and actually managed to get 45 mining on Frankie. So that's pretty cool. Gonna be banking a little bit of coal before we go back to iron. And with this bone, we now have 20 prayer. And whoopty, 40 strength. Pretty nice milestone. I am aiming to get base 40 stats, but I'll get 41 strength first, because that does give me a max hit in both attack and defense. So one more strength level and we're gonna switch over to, I think, attack, maybe defense, because I'm still struggling with tanking these guys. And there we have it, Demon Slayer done. Oh, let's get out of here, these visits hurt. But yeah, I decided to do a little bit of questing. I believe before I get members on the different accounts, I do want to try and complete all the quests possible on the different accounts. As for this one, I can still do Witch's Potion. The only issue is I need to get an Eye of Newt. And the only way of getting that is from a zombie. And I tried getting it earlier. My stats is a lot better now, so maybe I'll try and go for that again. Other than that, I can do Black Knight's Fortress, the Corsair's Curse. There's a few quests I can do on this one, and there's a few quests I can do on the other accounts. I do want to complete all free-to-play quests possible for all 3 accounts. The Corsair Curse done on Win the Warrior. For now, there's not that many quests left. I've been gathering some quest requirements over on Anne, so I'll probably do more quests once I can trade in between them. Oh, just skipped it, but we have Pirate Treasures done. And we got a casket that gives us gold ring and emerald. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what it's gonna be, because if you check our age, you know, it's 20 hours, so that means the trade restriction is over and done with. So let's all assemble over at Lumbridge. Gonna teleport out on all of them and meet up with Aki here in Lumbridge. And there we have it. The first 20 hours of the series is done. Trade restrictions now lifted. That means we can start doing some of the quests that was impossible before. For example, the Black Knight Fortress. I couldn't do that because I could not obtain iron chainmail, but now we can because we can have Anne craft it or smith it. And in general, Anne is just going to be a lot more useful. Anne has not been able to do much this series or this episode because she hasn't been able to get any supplies, but now she can, so next episode is gonna be so much better. Before we jump into looking at everyone's stats, and I also want to showcase the banks of everyone so you guys can get an idea of our total value. Let's first off talk about the quests that I need to do. So on screen right now, I put all the quests that I believe is gonna be possible to do and on which accounts they're gonna be doable. In the next episode, we will be focusing on completing all those quests and of course working on the stats on all of the accounts and getting a bond. I really want to get a bond over on Ben. He's the last one with trade restrictions on him, so a bond would release that. And I also want to talk about bond priority. I think I'm gonna start with the first bond over on Ben, because then we can start making a lot more money an hour and we get access to a lot better money makers. And after that, we're probably gonna throw one on Win, so that he can start killing some better mobs and maybe start making some money too. And honestly, now that we can trade in between the crew members and Anne can start smithing, we can start selling some of the things he smiths. So that's gonna start making some money for us too. So Ben won't have to do this all by himself. Also, we are getting photobombed hard here by Donnie.
Hey guys!
Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and look at the stats. So let's start off with Anne, because Anne is the least impressive of all of them. We got our crafting up to 8, farming up to 53, cooking to 10, and smithing to 4. Not super impressive, but I'm pretty happy with the fire making here. Now moving on to Frankie, we mostly focused on mining and got it all the way up to 47. Also managed to get a few fishing levels, some wood cutting levels, and managed to get a total level of 106. And of course, lastly, since we do not count Ben, we have Win. We did pretty good in combat stats, trained up all of them a little bit, mostly strength, and our defense is pretty high now. Definitely looking forward to taking him to the next level in the next episode. If we combine the stats, we actually get these, which totals out to 341. Pretty impressive for a 20-hour session, I would say so. For the last thing I want to do, let's go ahead and look at the bank of each of the different crew members, and let's get a total value of what the bank is worth. As for Anne's bank, there's not really much to say. It's only worth 10k. Gathered some resources for Prince Ali's quest and Goblin Diplomacy. Vin isn't that much more impressive. We mostly just did PvN on him and looted whatever we needed to loot. But he did manage to get all the way up to 70k, and look at that stack of right skulls. Now Frankie is a little bit more interesting since we did a lot of farming on him. He actually managed to get a bank worth of 140k, so that's definitely going to help out in the next episode. Lastly, we have Ben. And I'm pretty excited to show you guys this one. I hope you guys are excited too.
Drumroll please!
1.16 mil. As you can see, we still have a lot of pastries in here, which will be made into pie shells, and that's gonna be our probably main money maker until we hit bond. Once we hit bond, we can probably go ahead and do some better methods with membership. And if we total out the value of the banks, we have 1380k. Still quite a bit of ways away from bond, but at least all 4 characters can now help with it. And there you have it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching the first episode of the Runescape Job. Frankie says thank you. Anne says thank you. Ben says thank you. Vin says thank you. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.